Rex Francis. I am inventor and CEO of Anchor Ride Australia. Sarker, sand and reef combination anchor. That's basically what Sarker's all about. It's a full combination anchor, so it'll work in sand, gravel, reef, mud, so on. And more importantly, it was the first combination anchor ever designed, and our patents basically tell us that when we patent the product. The reason we got into inventing new anchor designs is simply because I was like anybody else out there with a family, boating, loved me boating, and we soon discovered when we started that when we would anchor up in sand or gravel or mud or reef, we were changing our anchors on a regular basis to get our boat to hold basically. And of course, you know, when you're anchoring up on the bottom, you don't always know what's down the bottom. So changing the anchors, even though it improved our anchoring percentage, it still wasn't all that accurate because we weren't sure what we're anchoring in. This is the Sarker anchor, and I'll explain to you why it's different, what it's all about and how it actually works. So when you look at the anchor, as you can see, it's got an arrowhead shaped point on it. It's got a very wide holding area, no different to that of the sand anchor. We have various slots in the anchor which aid the anchor when you go to break out of the sand and mud. It allows the anchor to break freely, come up leaving all the mud and debris on the bottom. So it's a very easy anchor to retrieve. Furthermore, we have this unique automatic reset trip release. So if you do get your anchor stuck under a log or a lump of reef on the bottom, you can drive over the anchor, which pulls the back of the anchor up. As soon as the anchor is released, the D-shackle slides back and resets automatically. So it is an automatically reset trip release. One of the main features of the Sarker anchor is the hoop. So if you should drop the anchor upside down or the wrong way up, as soon as you start to drag the anchor, follow the radius of the hoop and right that anchor very quickly. Now when I say quickly, normally less than half the distance of that fluke plate that anchor is starting to bury. That's how fast they penetrate. Now, we get asked the question quite often, what's the difference between concave and convex? When we initially started off with the Sarker anchor, we developed it in a concave design. Now during the time we were testing this anchor, it worked extremely well. But back in those days we didn't have winches, and my son was probably about 11 years old and he said to me, "Gee Dad, this anchor is working fantastic, but have a look up the front here, I can't pull this anchor up." When we pulled this thing up, it was absolutely chock-a-block full of mud and weed, not a very good outcome for the environment, and he said, "We can't sell these anchors like this, look at the rubbish we're pulling up." So we turned it the other way. Wasn't all that simple. Back to the drawing board, a lot more research and development to develop the Sarker anchor to work the way it is working now. Now being a convex design, we simply leave all the mud behind and bring up a nice clean anchor and basically looking after the environment at the same time. The environment's another winner with the Sarker anchor simply because when you drag an anchor, you're tearing the bottom up. Not just basically tearing the bottom up, but the design of the anchor can create less impact. So if you've got an anchor that's a combination anchor that will work in sand, gravel, reef and mud, obviously you're dragging the anchor less because it's the right design, but we have no lead in the anchor. So if you used to lose your anchor, you're not depositing another great lump of lead in the ocean floor like we have done for many years. So they are environmentally friendly and they don't plough, which is another big plus. Plough anchors plough up everything on the bottom, where the Sarker anchor lays, and the XL anchor for that matter, lays all the material back flat the way it went through. We never had anchors in Australia that were certified as super high holding power anchors. Now we do, and our product is basically the first Australian design anchor ever to get super high holding power certification. What that means is if you buy an anchor that's certified, it means that it's got to be a quality product and it actually has to work. Furthermore, you know, with super high holding power, if you've got a boat that's got over 360 kilo anchor on it, a survey officer will allow you to go and downsize your anchor simply because it's a proven tested anchor with super high holding power. We have another anchor design, and with the success of the Sarker, the boat building industry was ringing us up and emailing us, can we design something other than the Sarker anchor in more of a generic style, simply because, but they wanted something with the holding power of the Sarker. So basically more generic style, like plough, delta style anchor. This is the XL anchor, and this is the one we designed for pulpit arrangement basically. Because of their design, they're very popular with yachts as well. What's different about it is we have a single plane fluke, whereas your plough anchors, delta style anchors, have two movements on the fluke, and it starts somewhere about here. So it ploughs the material away. The XL doesn't. Compresses the material with the aid of the XL, the holes, the water flowing through here, similar to the Sarker, compresses the material, forces the material over the back of the anchor. So it's definitely not a plough anchor. Furthermore, we have cutting edges running all the way down the sides, exactly the same as the Sarker anchor. We have a turned down toe with cutting edges on the toe. In the back of the anchor here, We don't have lead, we have a cast steel, so if we were to lose that anchor, instead of depositing another lump of lead in the ocean floor, we're just dropping a lump of steel which will rust away and basically create another piece of reef. So yes, it's a full combination anchor. It'll work in sand, gravel, reef, mud, the whole lot. But more importantly for guys with pull pits, that will fit readily into a pull pit or basically fit any bowsprit. Now with the Sarker anchor with the hoop, it'll fit any front loading roller, but it won't come through a pull pit, whereas now the XL anchor will. So we've added to the range of anchors, and we're now covering a wider range or a bigger variety of vessels out there because we can fit these pull pits as well. And the XL also enjoys super high holding power certification. For many years now, Australia's looked for anchors to be brought in from overseas to service their needs, and more so not anchors to service their needs, but anchors that are certified. We now have Australian-made anchors certified with super high holding power, as good as, if not better, than anchors anywhere in the world.